Hello students, this is a recording to let you go through a little bit of a review of how to use the UW Superior database system, and also then a real quick review on using Google Scholar. So let's get you started here. First of all, you want to go to the UW library. You type in for that. The next thing that you'd want to hit would be that you're doing research, and you'll get a lot of choices of what kind of database that you'd like to go into. So I encourage you to practice on several different types. The subject that you're looking for, you can select education or other subjects, and you can select the database that you want. So this is a good practice for you if you haven't been there for a while. Once you do select the database, okay, they're going to ask you for your login information. So it's not until you get to this point. Please note that you only need your username and not your whole UW Superior email, and then your password that you use for Superior. Now the subject I was interested in taking a look at was just a hypothetical situation of a school implementing math instruction right after research. So I'm taking a look at how does that improve, how does that impact, how does that have an impact on the students that are in my school with taking math right after research. So that would be one of the topics that I would put in here, impact of academic achievement in school recess. So I had a double subject area. This you can select the title, the subject, the author. Okay, so sometimes I just leave this empty so it does a full search. Now don't select the search yet because you have to refine your search. So you're going to practice with this. I wanted to find all my search terms that I had put in there. You might want to do smart text or just a Boolean phrase as the text describes here. Do practice with the smart text hint. It's kind of a unique feature that will help you in narrowing down your topic. But some of the things for that second week assignment with looking at two peer-reviewed journal articles, you want the full text. It has to be a scholarly peer-reviewed journal, and you can set the parameters. So do make sure, I set 2005, I probably should have set it about 2010 to 2019. So select your parameters there. Some other refining that you're going to want to do. This has to be from a periodical, which is a journal, and you're looking for an article. And also very important, you want to make sure it's in English, or you may end up with numerous articles which are in other languages. Further refining that I'm going to select this in a PDF, because if it's something that I'm going to use for my research, I want to make sure I can get the page numbers, the correct page numbers when I make reference to it. Finally, I can select the search button. Okay. So as we take a look at this screen right here, I did the impact of research in schools on academic achievement, and I came up with 7 articles. Now remember, I was in just Academic Search Complete. That was the database that I selected. So if I want to take a look at further ones, I would select another database and refine my search. So I only had 7 searches here. I made sure that it fit the parameters that I had set up previously. It was an academic journal. And I'm just taking a look at the first 2 articles out of the 7 here. This looked like an interesting article, and the title looked, but I looked a little further before I checked it out. The title was written in the Spanish language, but had an English title. Now this one caught my eye, Recess in Academic Achievement. It was a 4-page article, and I could get it in a PDF full text. So I narrowed my search down, I make sure I look at the title and some of the parameters here. Check out the articles I have. Note the DOI, okay, the DOI number, and that would be listed right here. If I select to use this article, very good article, that physical activity improves math achievement, okay, it was a 14-page article, I'm really interested in reading it, but if I use this article in my research, I do have to put the DOI number in my reference page. So you want to make sure that that the article doesn't print out with a DOI number, perhaps taking a screenshot of this so I do have that DOI number for later use if I need it. For doing that Google Scholar search, again I put my subject in a Google search, but then it'll ask me if I want to look at scholarly articles. Okay, and of course I'm going to select that, but you also in a Google search you want to set up your parameters. Okay, so one of the things here I put in since 2015, but if you would click this custom range, that will allow you to say maybe get a 10-year range or an 8-year range. You can set that up. I'm going to sort it by date, which would be US first, but you could also sort it by subject or by importance. And I want to make sure that I include the citations. I didn't want to create an alert so that they send me an email every time a new article comes up. But another thing you may want to take a look at is this right here. Obviously, we want a PDF, but this was a government report. So I do want a variety. I don't want just articles or research studies. I do want a variety of references that I use when I'm collecting data for my research. So this was one of the articles. As we take a look at this article, it was the effect of recess on 5th grade students' time on task in an elementary school. I can download it in a full text. It's from an electronic journal of elementary education. It was about a 4-page article, 2018. I'm interested in reading this because I want to see what this study showed. Okay, now sometimes because it's in Google Scholar, you might click on a download and that download will ask you to send money or you have to pay to get that article. Please don't ever do that, because this resource right here, ERIC resource, is in the UW Superior databases, and you would just need to know this information. You could go back to the UW Superior database and find that article and get it free. One last thing I want you to do when you do find an article you really like is to always check out the references of a good article, because sometimes that leads you to another resource that would be very pertinent to the research that you're doing. So don't forget to check out the reference pages. This was very, very helpful when I was working on my doctorate dissertation. For example, this one right here is that exercise improves behavioral, neurocognitive, and scholastic performance on children with ADHD. And I'm looking at that impact of recess on math in my school. How is that impacting the students in my class or in my school? Notice that it has the DOI number right here, and this is a hot link, so it may take me right to that article. So again, make sure you check out the references. It'll be very helpful for you. So as we move into our second week, I think this review, some of this information you know already, but this review is to help you in finding the articles for that assignment, but also as you're looking at collecting pertinent research for your topic. So I hope if you have questions, please don't hesitate to email me, and we'll help you as much as we can. So thank you so much for watching this, and we'll talk to you later.